Well, I've said before, it's not just those women. There's a lot of women around this country that are coming forward. I think we have reached that tipping point in this country in which women need to stand up and speak out. I think we have to be very careful in all of those and how we approach those issues. I said at the very beginning when the issues involving Roy Moore surfaced that we need to let the dust settle a little bit and not take sides immediately. But certainly I think that was, I commend them for coming forward. I have said before, I believe them. I think they have all the credibility in the world. And I think that as going forward, this country has a debt that we owe to women everywhere who has had to endure the kind of treatment at the hands of male counterparts in their workplace or customers or anyone else. You know, I said from the very beginning, I think Roy Moore was disqualified from this job to begin with because he had been removed from office twice for violating the rule of law. There were serious questions about his moral foundation of law, which seemed to be nothing more than a way to enrich himself and his family. I believed all along that we had a path to victory in this race. I believed it this summer, and I certainly believed it as we were going forward because we were getting traction and momentum in our campaign before those allegations surfaced. And there are people in this state in particular who lost their lives trying to get that right to vote. So you don't have to count jelly beans in order to get that right to vote. So you don't have to pay a tax in order to get that right to vote. So it's important that I think that, and I would like to see there be some effort to get more people registered to make it easier to vote in this state. That if there was one thing that I came out of the United States Attorney's Office with, it was knowing that public service can do good things for people in the state, and that's what I wanted to do. It was all about trying to do something good and exercising that discipline to stay focused on that process and that goal. From my perspective, it's as clean cut as it's going to get. And I feel very confident. And when the President of the United States, who endorsed Roy Moore, calls me to congratulate me, I think he feels like it's pretty clean cut and dried as well. If we approach 2020 like we approached 2017, I'll be fine because I'm not going to change. It's not a question of adjusting what you believe to a campaign. It's making sure that you learn and you get educated by your constituents. You help educate them. And I think that there's not enough of that going on in Washington or even on the local level sometimes. You know, last night was probably the best anniversary present anybody could have. We had, when we were married, probably the best wedding party that I have ever been to. But it didn't come close to the wedding, to the anniversary party that we had last night with about 2,000 of our closest friends.